Why is it that a lot of women's romance novels have to do with animals? This has been a big problem. A lot of people have been curious about this because women obviously, like love to criticize men on their preferences of women. But whenever you criticize women on their preferences of men, you would just be categorically wrong because men aren't their preference. Lizards, dragons, werewolves, bears, dogs. Bit of a problem.
Oh, I didn't see you there. What am I reading, you ask? Well, just one of the best-selling books on Amazon right now. With millions of sales and almost 20,000 5-star reviews, this book has been absolutely blowing up, as thousands and thousands of women in particular have been raving about this piece of literature. Morning Glory Milking Farm, a popular romance novel about a young woman down on her luck who does what every young woman does when facing financial struggle. She
tries to have sex with a man, right?
OnlyFans. No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. She wouldn't degrade herself like that. She gets a job jerking off monsters.
That's right. The Morning Glory Milking Farm.
I have been reading Morning Glory Milking Farm since last night, and I'm obsessed.
This was a good time. It did not disappoint.
This is confirming every single suspicion, every single bias, every single stereotype, everything that I've been trying to say for a long time.
Is trash, then I am a raccoon. Give me all of the garbage.
Get your eyeballs on this, because it is so good.
Oh my god!
I regret to inform you that there is a new epidemic. An epidemic that many have yet to discuss. And that epidemic is female gooners. For those of you unaware, gooner is internet slang for someone addicted to
Yes.
And smut is slang for dark romance novels, otherwise known as porn. Many correct about the dangers of porn addiction with men, how it can destroy their lives and their relationships, and most men know the material they consume is weird. That is why they are ashamed of it.
Yes.
That is why they delete their browser history.
That's
that is
correct.
why they go incognito mode.
Yes.
But these bitches freaks out here.
That's what's so crazy about it is like all of these girls think that, oh my god, this is so horrible, you like women that look this way. Meanwhile, they're attracted to a motherfucking, look at what this is. That's a lizard. You see that? And you're mad that guys like girls with larger than average chests. And you're reading a book about having sex with a lizard. What the hell is going on?
Their smut openly in bookstores. They discuss their smut openly on TikTok. They go to smut conventions and get choked out by 9-foot-tall shirtless wendigos. Let's talk about the rapidly growing popularity of dark romance on TikTok and the recent dark romance convention.
And they've been doing this for a long
disaster.
time, by the way. This isn't anything new. There was a girl in my Warcraft guild in Burning Crusade that used to put peanut butter on herself and have her dog eat her out. So it's not like this is a new phenomenon or anything like that. This has been going on for a long time.
Book Talk is a very interesting place. Books on TikTok are not rated by how well they are written or how good the characters are.
No,
they are rated by the spice. And what does spice mean? Porn. Spice level is very important to book talkers. How much spice does a book have? What are the spiciest books they have ever read?
Why is it always white women? What the
The spiciest book going viral on Book Talk lately is none other than Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta. Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt. Oh my god!
Yeah, that's so me, right?
She's just like me!
Exactly. Yep, I knew it.
Verge of moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in the neighboring Cambric Creek.
Yes.
She has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef.
Yeah.
Manly, meaty endowments to... Okay. So I actually read the book myself, and I'm not gonna lie. The 19th Amendment needs to be abolished. So, like I said, the story is basically this millennial named Violet, and she gets a job basically working at Big Pharma in Narnia, where they harvest Minotaur milk to make Viagra for human males. and I read the whole thing.
Whenever I said that 85% of the population should be disenfranchised and shouldn't be allowed to vote, I think that Trump should subpoena all of Amazon's sales of this book and then find out every person who bought this book, and then they can't vote anymore.
Let's take a look at some of these notes I wrote. Let's see. Big dick and ball. So I'm reading this, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, okay, he probably has, like, a human head, right? He probably, like, looks something like this. Like, you know, just a dude with, like, horns. Then I see the official artwork. That's
the official artwork.
Cow.
That's a cow.
Bro is a cow. Bro is a straight-up cow.
Yeah.
In a few parts, they're being intimate, and it will be like, his hooves clip-clopped. My hooves will tear up your sheets. And it's like, I'm sorry, his what? At one point, she describes kissing him. And I swear to God, it was more disgusting than anything else described in this book. She's like describing how big and wide his mouth is and how big and like slimy his tongue is. She's like describing the shit and you're just like, that's a cow. I mean, we are at a solid 5.5 on the Barbo.
This was the old one that everybody remembers back from 3,000 years ago. And blame Twilight. I think Twilight was the icebreaker for this. You're right about that. Yeah, and you go back and you watch Twilight, and that's pretty normal compared to this.
Anyway, I like how in this fantasy world, student loans still exist. Like, we can imagine a world with...
So, oh my God. I think that really goes to show how bad it is for these girls. They can imagine themselves being a minotaur, but they can't imagine losing their student loans.
Minotaurs and humans in a relationship, but we can't imagine a world without student loans. Oh, and he has one of those bull rings, like the nose ring theory septum rings. No. He's divorced. This is a divorced cow with a cow ex-wife. The funniest part, has to be when they go on a date. I need to just read this to you. When the bill arrived, she attempted to pull a handful of carefully folded bills from her wristlet.
Wait, like, I mean, wait, hold up, wait a minute. So she goes to like a restaurant with a cow?
Before he stopped her. No, that's absolutely not happening.
Yeah, it probably wasn't a steakhouse, was it? It's a fantasy world? I hope so.
Put that away. She'd not thought about it until the day after their first dinner together, realizing that in mortification that she ought to have attempted to pay her half. What kind of feminist are you? She asked herself. She couldn't remember the last time she'd been out and hadn't paid for her half. She had come prepared that night, several weeks of her tips smoothed and tucked into her wristlet. Jesus. But I didn't even offer to pay half the other night and shouldn't have. Violet. If the commanding rumble of his voice hadn't silenced her, the heat of his hand dropping to her knee would have. I don't want you to feel that you don't have any agency here. I might be the one giving all the orders, but you hold all the cards.
Jesus
Your comfort
Christ.
is the only thing that counts right now. And if I overstep,
and
I
to
want
think
you
that these girls are complaining about guys talking to AI companions.
to know you can tell me so. But that's not happening. Don't think I'm unaware we're at different points in our careers. You can say no,
With
you
one
can say you
hand.
don't want to see me again. You can tell me to stop coming to the farm when you're working. It's dinner, not a down payment of your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone. So when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story.
Man.
She was a good feminist, she told herself, and she definitely couldn't be bought. But if he had suggested at that
And how does a cow get money?
moment that he would have appreciated a blowjob, she would have fallen face first on his cock with an open mouth without a shred of hesitation. Inside every woman, there are two wolves. The strong, independent girl boss and the submissive, doting housewife.
I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone, so when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. I highlighted that paragraph for myself.
What are the reviews on this book? This book has a 4.1.
That's the kind of person that's telling you that you're not normal for liking Stellar Blade or that you need help because you're a gooner. 59,000 ratings. Millions of people bought this book.
On Amazon with 21,000 ratings.
Yeah.
And a 3.6 on Goodreads with nearly 60,000 ratings. Let's just read some random
So
ones
does it
here.
just get-
Hear me out. Sweet and creamy. I was very leery of starting this because I thought it was just going to be The plot is pretty good. I'll never look at a jug of milk the same. I think I'm lactose intolerant now. Star, not a helpful guide. This book failed to teach me how to milk a cow, and now my family has no food for the winter.
Good.
1 star, accidentally ordered while on pain medication after an operation. Gave
Okay, that's the only one that's acceptable.
this to my mom as a joke gift for Christmas. You what? Tall, rich, and handsome are no longer enough,
No.
boys. Now you have to be a 9-foot-tall creature from Greek mythology with a 13-inch dick. I never want to hear from another
Only
person about how they
13?
read 100 books in a year if this is the kind of slop they are consuming.
Yeah.
Well, Ronald, man detected,
Yeah.
this isn't for you.
I mean, a lot of guys, you had guys pre-ordering the Little Tay OnlyFans for 7 years when she turned 18. It's bad out there. Like, things are getting crazy. And you know what I think? I think it's just about to get worse.
This book has way too many 5 stars. Some of you are lying. So after buying this book, Amazon has given me a few interesting recommendations. I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Gentling the beast. Cupcakes for my orc enemy. Widow and the orcs.
No.
Hoarded by the dragon.
That's not even a... That's literally just a dragon. It's not even like a guy with horns or any...
There's something about dragons. Getting it on with gargoyles. Pounded by produce.
Okay, this one's got to be a joke, right? I mean, like, this has got to be a joke. Like, there's no way, guys.
My husband only reads finance and science, and so I think it's about time that I introduce him to some real literature. Morning Glory Milking Farm. And it's not a normal milking farm like with cows. What it is it's big, bulky minotaurs, and it's a special type of milking.
My favorite part about this is that I don't even know if there is a husband there. It could just be her talking to herself.
Women on TikTok are
I don't know.
openly proudly
I hope
talking
not.
about the porn they consume and getting mad at people when they make fun of it.
Yeah.
Are we really going to pretend that a story about a young woman getting a job milking mythical creatures to pay off her student debt is not funny? Women out here fantasizing about getting their asses clapped by demons and werewolves and goblins. I remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out and people were like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Women are crazy. At least
nuts.
Christian Grey was a human man and not a fucking dog.
I wonder what the probability is that people do weird shit like this with their pets. I wonder, like, what is the percentage? Is it 3%? Is it 0.3%? Is it 15%? I don't want to know, but I'm curious. Because I bet it's higher than you think.
We all know there is a difference between fantasy and reality. Well, what happens when they try to bring fantasy into reality? Well, you get Sinners and Stardust.
Do you want your biggest dreams to become a reality? What is this?
Sinners and Stardust was supposed to be a dark romance ball for romantasy authors and fans alike. So what's the big deal? Seems like a fun, sexy time, right? Maybe, if you're a woman. If you're a man,
Yeah.
the night may have gone a little differently for you.
Uh-huh.
Alright, y'all, it appears I have to make a post that I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have. This post is for the readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. A lot of you may know my good friend Animus. He's attended a signing of mine in the past and obviously is a musical artist. This past weekend, he attended Sinners and Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. So listen, he's a man, right? But do we think that means it's okay to put your hands all over him without consent?
This is what people do. They do this. Like, you go to a convention, people will touch you in all kinds of ways. Like, I've had this happen even to me.
Hands in his waistband or down his pants or touch his dick.
That's
Do we
a
think
lot.
it's okay to quite literally back him into a corner and touch all over him to the point that he literally cannot tell how many hands are on him? Do we think it's okay to send him into an actual panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do we think it's okay to interrogate him and insist he detail how he'd kidnap a woman despite him repeatedly saying he wouldn't do that and you know that shit is fiction?
Yeah.
And then attempt to follow him when he tries to get away? During the time of this mob, him and another author received notification that an air tag was tracking him, which showed on his person all the way to his hotel room.
This is crazy, bro.
Poor guy dressed like a character in one of the romantasy books at this romantasy convention full of women. That is like throwing roast beef into a pit of wolves. I've been a furry for over a decade and attended a lot of fur cons. Sure, sometimes weird shit happens, but honestly, I can't believe the dark romance crowd is out here acting like this. Like, me and my buddies in our fursuits are more respecting of consent and bodily autonomy. Get your shit together, y'all. Not only were the men at this book talk convention assaulted, but women were also assaulted by women. May I remind you, this is a book convention, okay? Ivy Lipton, a doctoral candidate in human sexuality, actually wrote about this for Evie magazine. Men are visual and women are emotional. When it comes to sex, men can be turned on instantly by a sexual image despite their mood, and women need to be turned on emotionally to get in the mood.
I always wondered, like, why is it that every woman isn't a lesbian? Because, like, I think a lot of guys are ugly. A lot of them actually like guys because of their personality. It kind of ruled me out, but, you know, I've learned that over the years.
Conditioning your brain and body to associate pleasure with monsters is not healthy.
Yep.
Basically, they're cooked. Like, women are cooked. They are frying their brains with this stuff. But why is monster smut so popular with women in particular? Reddit asked this very question. Do you guys like monster romances?
Asking for a friend. Yeah,
Several
sure.
reasons. One, human men are quite often terrible. Romance books with human men are already partly fantasy, but monsters just takes the fantasy bit further. Two, it's sort of human nature to imagine relationships with paranormal beings and creatures. We've been doing it in literature and art for centuries. It's just gotten a lot more graphic now, lol. Scary, mean, terrifying creature is sweet to her, takes care of her, protects her, works hard to be gentle.
She's special. She's different. She's special. Of course. How could I not have predicted this?
Because the monsters are less dangerous than dating actual men. Non-humans haven't betrayed and hurt me, so they feel like a safe haven, if that makes sense. Monster smut is about submission, domination, forced breeding, non-consensual consent.
Of course.
The women are like conquered and taken and overpowered by these monsters.
Yeah.
And I think many of these women are reading these books containing monsters and not men because masculinity and dominance in men has been completely
seen as bad.
demonized in modern society. See, my dragon boyfriend could rip me to shreds and kill me instantly, but he won't because he's nice.
Because
and
you're
he
special.
loves me. Maybe it's not that deep. There are some hungers better starved than fed. And maybe as women, for the sake of society, we have to starve our hunger for minotaur penis. So what do you guys think? What is your theory? Why is the monster romance genre so popular with women in particular? And I will see you guys again really soon with a new video. Bye!
And that's something special. Really, like, that's crazy. Wow. A lot of the people that get invested and, like, weirded out by a lot of this, like, weird stuff that people do, I think whatever you want to do behind closed doors, as long as it's consensual, I don't really give a shit. I'll link you guys the video again. Give it a like. This was such a good video. I love this.